Knight Jarecki here with head coach Tommy Richards for today's Tommy Talk. And coach, let's try not to get hit by a foul ball today. Let's go ahead and talk about yesterday's loss against Corvallis. 10-4 was the final. In that first inning, there was an error that extended the inning a little bit further, and ultimately that grand slam happened. You guys fell behind 5-0 early on. It feels like errors early in the game have really cost this team, especially this past series against Corvallis. Can you just talk about how errors have really put this team in a hole early on?
Yeah, 100%. Hey, first thing, I wanted to make sure we protected you today.
Thank you.
So that you don't get hit again. A little helmet to protect my favorite ginger. But yesterday, no doubt about it. I mean, all 5 runs in the first inning are unearned, right? So the first run that scores gets on base via throwing error, and then the grand slam occurs with 2 outs. And any time that you give up runs in an inning with 2 outs when an error occurred, those are all unearned. And so to me, the takeaway is like, we got to be ready to play right from the jump. I think that when you look at a lot of the games, man, we get down early, and then the rest of the game, like, we play decent baseball. Like, sometimes we have competitive at-bats, and maybe we even outscore them the rest of the game. But when you hang a 4 or a 5 on us in the first inning, you dig yourself into a really big hole. And so I thought that was the case yesterday. It goes back to what we talked about a little bit at the beginning of the year, which is we're better when we throw the first punch. And so we got to focus on that.
Absolutely, you do. Yesterday, late in the game, we got to see Caden Delozier out on the mound, and we saw Sheen O'Connor 2 games ago here in Springfield. Are the position players coming in to pitch going to be a regularity towards the end of the year?
Hopefully not. No, those 2 guys both have experience pitching, and both those guys are coming from programs where we know that that's an okay thing to do. That's the last thing that we want to do, is put somebody in a position that they should not be in. And again, it comes down to trying to manage the arms. And so what we're thinking about last night, bringing Delozier in, because we could have had Holbert go too. Holbert threw, I think it was like 14 or 15 pitches in the inning that he had in the 7th. And then it's like, all right, we can bring Holbert in to throw the 8th. But, with the bullpen being a little bit more depleted with guys leaving town, we're going to need Holbert to throw in maybe a more leverage situation. So that's when we go to Delozier. I hope it's not a regularity. We're trying to find a few more arms. The purpose of this league, the purpose of our team is to develop guys, and so the last thing we want to do is overuse them and put them in tough situations, and so that's not what we're looking to do for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday was Trevor Anderson's last game as a Springfield Drifter, meaning that the second base position is now open. Today, Michael Soper's going to get the start there. He had 3 hits in the series against Corvallis. Can you just talk about having him in the lineup and then also having him at second base?
Yeah, so Soper, I've seen Soper play a lot. I remember watching Soper play 2 years ago at LB, and his left-handedness is good. I think that he does a good job usually of managing the strike zone, puts together competitive at-bats. I had him as more of a third baseman, but he's a versatile infielder, so he'll get some more run here as of, with Anson leaving as of late. And so I trust him, and I'm excited for him to get in there and be challenged and be tested, and we'll see what he's got.
Trevor Barth is going to get the start today. It's going to be his final start as a Drifter as well. What are you hoping to get out of him in his final outing?
Yeah, just competitive mojo. I want him to be in the zone early, get leadoff guys out, first pitch for strikes, be able to flip a few pitches in there, fastball, curveball, changeup, get them all working for strikes. And I have a lot of respect for Trevor, and he's done a good job, and hopefully he can finish strong for us.
To follow up with Trevor a little bit, what have you seen from him throughout the summer and how he's developed as a pitcher?
Yeah, I just think that he's learning who he is a little bit more. I think that he does a good job with Keith. Keith does a really great job, man. Like, every time a pitcher comes in, we're dissecting the outing, and it's in a healthy fashion, and it's with the intent to get guys better. And so I think that Barth just continues to get better, continues to know himself, and I know he's logged a lot of innings this year. He threw a lot at Grays. And then we've asked a lot out of him, so it makes sense that his innings limit is kind of approaching us here. But I just like his work ethic, think he's got a great attitude, and I'm excited for him to go to UT Permian Basin.
This club has lost 11 of its last 13 games, and some of these players may feel a little discouraged with the way that the team has been playing as of late. What are you telling this team to try to lift up the spirits?
Yeah, totally. Well, we got to compartmentalize, and I think that the messaging that we've been using is finish strong. You know what I mean? And the other thing that we've talked about today is to not let outside distractions affect your mentality and what we're trying to do. And sometimes those distractions can even be what the last several games have looked like, you know what I mean? And so we are blessed with the present moment, and we need to attack this day with a huge enthusiasm, and so hopefully we can do that. It really is a challenge though, man. Like, you can only take so much losing, and it's been a tough run the last 2 weeks, and so I do feel like the game is testing us. It's testing our fortitude. Crucible for gold, crucible test gold, furnace for silver, but a man gets tested in his heart, right? And so our heart's getting tested for sure.
Absolutely. Last question. First game against Ridgefield today. You guys had a series against them actually 2 weeks ago to the date. What did you learn from that first series against Ridgefield?
Yeah, they're good, man. They're good. They pitched it pretty well against us, and they hit the crap out of the ball against us too. And so we need to go out there and throw strikes. And I think the big thing for us, honestly, doing an introspective kind of looks like we need to play defense. That's the only way we're going to win games, man, is if we can protect the pitching and play defense. And so hopefully we can do that. But a lot of respect for them, well coached, and they got after us last time. We were lucky to get out of there, salvage the series in Game 3. So we'll look to kind of change the mojo and start fresh today.
Good luck today, Coach.
Thanks, man.
That's been today's Tommy Talk with head coach Tommy Richards.